Welcome back to Flipper Flicks here. We are all about the shouts and the twisting and doing it all about, because that's what we're all about. I'm Adam. I was going to do Twist and Shout by the Beatles. And then I was like, I don't feel like singing today. I know that's shocking.
Hot take.
I'm real
That's why would I do Twist and Shout for this movie?
I'm real confused. Well, I guess we'll find out later.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Sam and I'm confused right now. But I'm holding out and I hope you guys are too. We can find out together why he said Twist and Shout. We're on social media. You can find us on Twitter or Instagram. Flipper Flicks. Apparently you're not supposed to say the @
I like the @
You just search Flipper Flicks. I finally got confirmation on that.
from a Zoomer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess nowadays when it was all new, you had to like say pound or
I know,
or
now it's just
actually that'd be a
Flipper Flicks.
hashtag. Tim, not a pound.
hashtag. That's
Not
true.
Number sign Flipper Flicks.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
Yes,
man.
accurate.
Well, you can find us there on those platforms. We post things sometimes, but we're trying to get better for it. We'll get back to it. You know, it comes and goes in waves.
It comes in ones and twosels.
Yeah. And we also have a website, flipperflix.com, where you can recommend movies for us anytime. We're about to start a new season, so we always like to pander for recommendations just because we like choices. What can we say?
Yeah.
And we release episodes every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I've been told it's not Eastern Standard Time anymore. It's Eastern Daylight Time, but whichever one strikes your fancy.
Well, we're in Eastern Standard now. Eastern Daylight was what we were just in.
Okay, I guess I got it wrong.
I need to get rid of that.
Yeah, whatever Eastern Time is 1 p.m. on
ET.
Thursdays.
Phone home.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, all that stuff. And I think that's it. So take it away.
I'm Tim.
Hi,
And
Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Thanks
Welcome
for
back.
joining us.
Hey.
First
yeah,
time
I guess I
caller.
have a synopsis for you guys. First what?
First time caller.
First time caller.
Long time guest.
Long time listener.
Long time host.
Listener.
What? I'm
There you
confused. How do we get there?
long time host. First time saying this.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I had to pick a movie with 17 letters or, numbers, whatever combination
Yeah.
in the title, but spaces don't count. So took me a minute, but I ended up on Memoir of a Murderer, also known as Memoir of a Murderer. Not Memoirs.
Yeah, that's a different
That'd be
movie.
18.
we
That'd be
kept
18.
thinking.
Yeah.
letters,
Yeah.
Isn't there also
So
a
this-
memoir of murderers too? Like I think there's like 3 movies that have very similar
No, there's
titles.
Memories
I
of a
would not be
Murderer.
surprised.
That one. That was
Yeah,
That's only
Memories of a-
16 letters. Then
Right.
there's Memoirs of a Murder in Japan.
okay.
So hopefully
Yeah.
Tim watched the South Korean one like we did.
I was
Yeah.
going to say this is the Korean one, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Memoir of a Murderer.
Or there's
Yeah.
also Confession of Murder, which is 18
True.
letters.
Goddamn.
And
You're
Memoirs
mathing
of
too much right now.
Geisha. Memoirs of a Geisha.
That's
Sam,
not
shut him up.
That's not close though. Let him do his synopsis.
He's just going to keep going.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
This one
good.
has this many
I'm good.
numbers and letters.
Tim has 3
yes,
letters
this
in
one.
it.
True. It is Moss now, though.
Yeah. I like
I
that
thought it was
better.
also Tim with a YM, so it's just 2
It is.
letters.
It is Tim with YM. Yeah.
He's
So
the
this one is
Mothman.
from 2017. Again, South Korean film. I am not going to try to pronounce the names in synopsis because I'll try.
I mess him up every week.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just going to be completely off with it, except for the daughters, which I watched this a little while ago, so now I don't think I'm going to say it correctly. But anyway, synopsis: Byung So, I don't know if that's correct at all.
You're close.
Byung-soo.
And-
Byung-soo.
Yeah, Byung So. Okay, a retired serial killer, which is odd. Lives a quiet life with his daughter. Oh man, I can't.
I forget her name.
Is
Yoon-hee.
Yoon-hee?
Yoon-hee.
Or is it Yoon-hee? Something like that? Yeah.
Yoon-hee.
Who has cared for him ever since his Alzheimer's diagnosis. When Yoon-hee... Oh, God.
Yoon.
Yoon I want to use a different language with it, but I keep messing it up. Brings home her new boyfriend. Gonna skip his name.
Teju.
Yes, Teju. Byung-so. See, I already messed it up
Byung-soo.
again. I'm struggling through this. Realizes I was waiting for you to say
Oh, which
the
name?
boyfriend's name again.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Teju, right?
Yeah.
Teju is a serial killer too. Whoa.
not
save his
one. He's
daughter.
serial killer 2.
Yeah. Serial
Number
killer
two,
2. TOO. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
TWO.
Not TWO.
TOW actually.
Or
Tao.
TUO. To save his daughter, Byung-soo. God damn it.
Yun Hee is saved by
What?
Byung-soo. I was just helping.
Byung-soo. Yeah, must fight Taeju as well as his own mind. So that was probably the longest synopsis I've ever read.
I
just
also
because
feel
I
like-
struggled to get through it.
I also feel like that's the only synopsis that has the characters' names in it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so I'm gonna read it without their names. So,
Yeah.
father, a retired serial killer, lives a quiet life with his daughter, who has cared for him ever since his Alzheimer's diagnosis. When his daughter brings him home, her new boyfriend, and the father realizes the boyfriend is a serial killer too. I had to chop that sentence up. It's actually kind of weird. To save his daughter, the father must fight the boyfriend as well as his own mind. I feel like it would have been so much simpler if they just wrote it like that.
I feel
But-
like you could have even sprinkled in the names a little bit.
Just
but
like
it's
one.
odd.
like once or twice.
Yeah.
But like
It's odd that
Yeah.
they put it that much. Like, I don't know. Maybe there are other synopses
It's-
that we've read that are that detailed, but I feel like they're
Yeah.
not.
There was one of them that was incredibly detailed that told us the whole
The whole
movie.
thing. Yeah, it was recently. I forget which one.
I
it
thought
was.
Tim read it too.
Yeah, he might have.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite literally like everything in the movie.
Yeah, we were like, oh, cool. We didn't have to watch that, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think it was Wolf
Right.
Creek too.
It
It
probably,
probably
was.
was, yeah. Yeah. I think that's the last one I read. So, yeah, I mean, this is, again, a South Korean film, Memoir of a Murderer, 2017, almost 2-hour runtime. I watched it on Amazon.
Nice. I think where did we watch it?
Tubi.
Yeah.
Tubi, that's right. Yeah, I was looking at
It
Tubi
was
as well.
free.
I feel like I was going to watch it on Tubi and then something happened, so I ended up on Amazon.
Was it?
Maybe I did watch it on Tubi and I'm just on Amazon out of like just instinct.
Always on Amazon.
You watched
Yeah.
watched The Raid Redemption on Amazon. And
I did.
We may
You
have
know
watched
what? I
those
think
around
I
the
did
same
watch this
time.
on. Yeah, I think I did watch this on Tubi
Did it?
because
Did
I
it?
watched.
Sorry, go ahead.
Do it.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I watched these at separate times, like
Mm.
almost a week apart. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I did watch it on Tubi. Now that I think about it, I'm just on Amazon again out of instinct.
Tubi, I feel like has a lot of commercials, like a lot.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. This
So
was like a 2.5 hour.
Just like
film for us.
nonstop.
Yeah, so I was like, if that helps at all. Like, I like Tubi. I like that it's free, but sometimes I'm like, damn, I don't want to watch a 4-hour
Yeah,
affair.
a little much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So who was feeling what about this flick?
Sam almost picked it earlier in the year, or last year.
True.
I have no
That's true.
recollection of this, but I believe you. It sounds like something I would.
You would. It was you were picking between The Wailing and this one,
Mm,
and I was you said that because it was a branching out. You were like, Memoir of a Murderer sounds more like up my like alley, while The Wailing is kind of something I would never pick. So branching out, The Wailing makes more sense for me, and that's why you picked that over this one.
dun dun dun.
I'm your memory
Sure.
bank.
Yes, apparently. Well, I will say that when I read the synopsis for this one, I was like, sweet, this sounds great. Can't wait. And I was really pumped. I don't know if anybody else was.
It was
Feeling the
interesting. It was like, because
Yeah,
Tim
it's
keeps
very-
picking South Korean films about dementia.
That's true. This is your second one.
While 2 isn't much, it's just a
It's
lot.
oddly specific.
It's
Yeah.
like it's specific for
Weird.
that genre, like this exact like thing. South Korean movie with dementia.
hmm
There's like 4 of them probably.
Popular.
What was your expectations, Tim?
I mean, it sounded very interesting. Like the idea behind it. Again, Alzheimer's, and then he's a serial killer, and then the boyfriend's a serial killer. So it's like, I really am curious how this is going to play out. Like
Mhm.
what they did, and you know, I expect a little mystery to it since the guy's got Alzheimer's, or like he's got just like anything with something where somebody has to use a memoir or a journal or something, or tattoos, to
Memento.
remember, yeah, exactly, what their life is, so that they can figure out, what's going on. So I thought it was a really cool concept, and it had decent rating. I mean, it had good ratings, so I
Nice.
wasn't upset about picking it, I guess.
That's good.
Tubi confused me right off the bat because it was like, "Do you want to skip the intro?" And I was like, "I'm on a movie. There's no intro.
Yeah. What does
Like,
that even mean?
where are you gonna take me? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halfway into the film.
halfway. Like you don't need to understand the setup of this film. You'll catch on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one movie that you can't do that with.
No, I think if you would have skipped, you could maybe get past like a little bit in the beginning, but if you skip too far, you're really confused for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna put another complaint out for Tubi real quick. Learn to use the space bar.
I was going to say that. I feel like it's fine to have subtitles. I enjoy those films, but if I have to have subtitles and there's no space bar, so I had to like use my brain a little bit more,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a little irked. I'm like, I just want to read and comprehend. I don't want to have to think
Yeah.
about it. Like,
Yeah.
This has nothing against the film.
no, it was
And
just
all against the platform.
I just wanted a space bar in my subtitles, please, and thank you.
I know that's very petty, but it annoyed us at points.
Yeah.
Now, Tim,
Fair.
do you remember if you had that issue, or maybe it was just our TV?
No, I don't think I did, because I'm pretty sure I ended up watching it on Amazon.
Well, there you go. See, now you know for sure. You're like,
Yeah.
my subtitles
So
are
it was
great.
like, yeah.
Although Amazon isn't always the best. You remember that
No.
one time it had like the DVD bar like bouncing through it?
Oh yeah.
But in this movie, getting sauce on someone's white shoes may or may not kill you.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
You get
That's how
them.
you create a fucking murderer, right?
Yeah,
Recipe for it.
I know. Like,
Mhm.
I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Those shoes were important.
Damn.
I mean, if you have white shoes, you want them to be white. You know what I mean? Or like
Right?
decently white. Like you don't want them to have spaghetti sauce on them or whatever it was.
It was some form of sauce.
It
He
was
just
real
dripped.
red and it was everywhere.
Yeah. And
They named it. Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah.
it was.
I
though.
did not write it down,
I didn't either.
but I was like, damn, that's no good.
Yeah.
And then apparently there was a cat in this movie that I don't remember, but his name was Michelle.
I don't remember Michelle the
Ah.
cat.
But yeah, apparently somebody was creepily standing there with a cat. I'm blanking, which is really funny. We're going to test our memories because
He brought a kitten to the clinic when he
Oh,
was stopping by
yeah.
to see
Yeah.
if young
Oh,
Shoe
it was
there.
it was
It was the cat
kitten
that
he
got
accidentally
killed.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's when that was like the last straw for him.
Yeah, he killed someone's cat, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Gave it the wrong dosage.
So that wasn't
gave
the
him the
cat
wrong
I was
medicine.
thinking of. There were two cats in this film.
There were. And the cat that he killed was named Michelle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now that you say that, I remember being like, Michelle, eh? Okay. Like, it's
Interesting name
yeah.
choice.
But I get it.
It might not be that weird in South Korea because they probably don't have too many Michelles.
I mean, some people name their dogs Megan.
Crazy people.
You want to name your dog Jeff.
Yeah, but I want to spell it Geophphh.
Still.
Yeah.
People won't
completely
know
different.
that unless you go to the vet. Otherwise, they'll just be hearing you call Jeff and they'll be waiting for like,
A human
yeah.
named Jeff.
Jokes on them. See? So people can name their cat Michelle.
Well, I was thinking about naming my dog Lady or Ma'am,
Do it.
so that if I have to yell her like name, like Lady, somebody looks or like you yell Ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Oh my
I think that would just be
gosh.
hysterical.
That would be amazing.
Dude, just name it Tim.
Oh no.
No, name it Moth.
Name it Moth.
Moth, yeah.
No.
Moth dog.
Ma'am would be especially funny because I feel like people name their dogs Lady and it's like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not that weird, but Ma'am would be hilarious.
Like
Man would
King,
be funny.
King of the Hill, the dog's name is Ladybird.
Oh, really?
Ladybird, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta remember. You gotta get your King of the Hill knowledge up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
Apparently.
And that's the move that should have been done this whole movie.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody is like getting grappled, just hit him in the balls.
Yeah.
That's
Naturally.
one way.
I don't know why that's like my go-to to be like, if I'm getting choked out, I'm gonna probably hit you in the balls. Then it's gonna be a woman, and it's not gonna work.
Did he choke out a lot of people? I feel like he
Apparently.
did. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
everybody
I
was
don't know.
getting choked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like, again, in movies, choking someone's very overplayed.
It just seems to be like an instant kill, and I'm like,
It's like
It
the
is,
eyeball
yeah.
squish.
yeah,
And
go
it's
for
like,
the eyes. Claw
Right.
someone's eyes if you're getting choked. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if done right, well, it's weird because you can be like, if done right or if done wrong. There
Yeah,
are different ways to, you can, the ultimate goal of like choking, I guess, kill them. It's actually quite difficult. Like the aspect of choking someone out in 10 seconds and them being dead is like not real.
yeah.
You'd have to like continually constrict the blood and like, because as soon as you stop, the blood flow goes again.
Tim.
Are you a serial killer?
It's just how choking works.
I know. I
And then
just wanted
there's-
to
and
ask
then-
you.
And then
Can you
like
say yes
in,
or no?
He avoided the question.
And then if it comes to like MMA or something and you do a choke wrong,
Yeah,
you could end up crushing somebody's windpipe or trachea or something, and that's a whole nother thing. But so it's
Or-
always weird to me when I watch like shows or movies and people choke other people out in like 10 seconds and they're like, oh, they're dead. It's like, no, not quite.
or you can be Mac and Sonny and choke yourself out.
Choke yourself out. Yeah.
You're head of security.
Head of security just chokes himself out.
I'm jotting
Yeah.
down that Tim avoided the question
Yeah.
twice.
I didn't hear
In
a
my
question.
notebook.
But yeah, this guy killed bad people. The dad
Yeah.
did. So immediately you're like, oh, okay, so you have some like sympathy for him, right? Because he talks
Mhm.
about killing people that are, well, murderers and stuff like that, and like
They like
horrible
a-
to their family.
Yeah, they're
or,
not
you know,
good. Not good
they're not
humans.
good people. Yeah,
So you're like, oh, I have
You're like,
sympathy.
okay. He's a murderer, but like now you know which one you're supposed to like.
He's a vigilante.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah.
Well, and they don't reveal that like very quickly. I feel like they show you his life and his memory problems, and they kind of like go back and forth, and you hear about his initial killings, but then also like you hear about more of his killings throughout the film. So it's not like it's like this big thing of like, oh, this is a serial killer and now you're on guard. Like I feel like they continually reveal stuff about him, which is
Yeah. Right.
nice. It keeps you kind of like,
Guessing.
yeah.
Like when they show that he's killing his wife and his wife's
Mhm.
lover,
Yeah.
not a killable offense.
And that was pretty late in the film, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Like
Yeah, it
you
was,
don't hear
yeah.
that for a while.
I would say about 2/3 in.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's the part, it's been a while since I watched it, but there's a part where they pretty much have you convinced that like it's not him who's doing the murders that are locally, right? But then they flip on a dime pretty easily, and I feel like it's almost like
Well,
that.
it's 'cause of his own. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like that when he's like talking about killing his wife and all of that, that like it's kind of like the nail in the coffin of that trajectory
Mm-hmm.
where they're going over, and you're like, oh shit, it was him. At least that's how I
Mhm.
was. I was like,
Sam was jumping up
dang.
and down the whole
I
time.
I was on the roller coaster that they put me on. I don't know if you guys had figured it out before then, but I was like, whoa.
I don't know if they let you figure everything out regardless. Tim, I don't know how you felt.
Yeah. It kind of was open ended, in my opinion.
Well, and then there's a director's cut,
Which is
a,
not open ended, apparently.
no, it's all he is the
Interesting.
killer in the director's cut. And his
Yeah.
daughter gets aphasia because of it.
Yeah, because we were watching the recap on YouTube, and they watched
Huh.
the director's cut one, and it gets to a point where you're like, oh shit, I didn't watch any of this.
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
would say, like, if you want, I mean, not having watched the director's cut, but like, if you want a more straightforward story,
That seems more
like the
straightforward.
one. But if you want to be on the wild roller coaster that I was, don't watch the director's cut.
Yeah, like they talk about how Teju is the one who rear-ended him, and
Mhm.
he saw the blood coming out of Byung Yu's car, and like he actually was trying to save the daughter the whole time.
Mhm.
And Byung Yu is the one who like murdered the cop friend. On?
Mhm.
Huh.
And
Yeah.
the lady in his class and all that.
Yeah, Ju Yun.
Well, it's all like
Cho
almost
Yun.
completely different.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a completely different story.
It's basically
Yeah.
that like his memories are like protecting himself essentially, which like the
Right.
version that we watched, right? Like you don't know if which of his memories are real and which of his ones are fake.
Yeah, like when he is tied up in his own apartment
Mm-hmm.
or
Mhm.
house.
Yeah.
And like Teju is like typing about the murders. It was like, is this happening? I
Yeah.
can't tell.
Yeah, that was weird.
And you
That
don't.
definitely.
Throw you off?
Yeah. I was like, this doesn't seem real.
Yeah. And then
Like in the moment.
like later he has the recording and he hears part of it, right? Because that's what I was saying. That was the part of the movie where I was like, okay, I'm not on the dad's side anymore. You know what I mean? Like clearly he's misremembering things until you get like that recording piece again. And then you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. What'd you think of his car? That's a starter. That's no starter car.
That's
It is
a
a
finisher.
finisher car.
It's a finisher car.
It's a transporter of the gods, the golden god
Mhm.
of death.
Yes, apparently.
A Shinigami. Well, no, that's Japanese. I don't know what god of death is in in Korean. Too bad.
Me either.
Me neither.
Wait, what, Tim? You don't know South Korean? Like you can't speak
Ping dong ho.
Byungyo.
No.
Byungyo. I can say names.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
I do feel like this movie also had some funny parts in it. Like when he's taking his poetry class, I think he has a line there where he's like, I should quit this or I'm going to end up killing this douchebag.
Yeah, I'm
when
gonna
he's
end up
talking about like the poetry
Right?
teacher. And then I don't know that this was meant to be funny, but I found it kind of funny is like at one point he's cooking and his phone falls into the pan and he just
Yep.
like nonchalantly scoops it out of the pan and like puts it
Yeah,
on
it
the
like
counter.
starts ringing.
Like,
He puts it in the
yeah.
the bowl and he answers it because it's like too hot.
yeah, it's just so silly.
What about that delayed laugh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like, my problem isn't that I don't have
I don't.
like I don't understand comedy. It's that it's just wrong or something weird, and so he like laughs weird.
He laughs at the wrong time.
It's like super delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be like 5 minutes delayed. And it'll like in a movie that could just be a completely different scene.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I had a note about how I don't remember this, but this is so funny because I don't remember all my notes on a movie about this.
About memory.
Yeah. About people being on the phone in the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
Was there somebody on a phone in the movie theater?
Maybe.
I don't
I
remember.
don't know.
But I've never had that happen. Have you?
Had somebody on the phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had them text. I've never had them like call.
Yeah. I've never had somebody like in the theater talk on the phone.
Really? This wasn't with me.
I don't know. It's like it wasn't like the whole movie. It was like the start of the movie. And they were still talking to somebody. And then they like they were on the phone for just a little bit too long. Because you're like,
Mm.
okay, you're on the phone for like the opening credit scene or like the opening whatever scene, that's fine. But then they went into like the first 5 minutes of the film and then they hung up.
Why wouldn't you like?
Just
Get up and leave.
I'm
I
in
have
the
no idea.
movie.
Yeah.
Like yeah, either be like, hey, yeah, I'll call you back. I'm watching a movie
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
paid for, or yeah, get up and leave for a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why did you sit down?
understand.
Like, you should have just.
Yeah.
But I haven't had somebody on the phone for like the entire time.
Yeah.
No.
I've had nobody. I've just seen people text, and that can be annoying just because of the light.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you
it
have
just
your
depends.
screen up super bright like I do. But I don't
Oh
text
my
people
God,
because I am
Sam's-
like a beacon of Gondor. It's so fucking.
They're lit.
Yeah.
It's so bright. She lights up the whole room in the middle of the night. I'm like, doesn't need to be that bright.
I like it that bright. I
Mhm.
like to sear my eyes out. And so that is why I don't text. But then there are people that text in the theater when they're searing their eyes out. And I'm like, just turn down your brightness, bro. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
But so I'm curious about one thing in South Korea, because like we've watched quite a few movies, but in the US,
Mm-hmm.
if your character speaks more than 5 words, you get paid more.
Really?
Yeah, or so there's a certain amount of words an extra can say.
Then you're a featured extra.
Yeah, or something
Then
like
you're
that.
like an actor.
Yeah, like you get paid more money
There are
if you
levels.
pass a certain amount of words.
Mhm.
The driver in the cop car never turns never speaks. He just faces forward the whole time. Every time On pulls up and talks to Byung-yu.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if there's something going on, like if they have a rule too.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
Or
I
he's
did.
like an extra or something.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. He didn't even like look over, like acknowledge that he stopped the car. Eyes on the road.
Serious business.
It's super serial. Killers.
That's funny.
So one other thing. Now, I don't understand this. Why would they ever? Well, I guess unless Taeju really never was a suspect, but clearly there's some animosity between him and Byung-yu. Why would the cops ever let them speak? Like, they wouldn't. I just don't think that would have happened.
I don't know that they knew, right? Or are you talking about like later on when they're like, "Hey, come here. He wants to talk to you."
Yeah, that part where he's
Yeah,
like, hey,
I
come
don't know.
here.
That seems weird to me.
Yeah,
But I
like,
think that has to do with like, is that
is he actually?
yeah? Is he actually there, or like, is it they're trying to get him to realize that it's just him he's thinking about, or like,
Yeah. It
it's
was weird. It was weird. But Taeshu also is missing half his head, a quarter of his head.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. That was wild.
I didn't expect it to come off and on like that.
So easily.
Like it was held on by like magnets.
Yeah. It was
Magnets?
so wild.
How does that even work?
And then he just like redoes his
know.
hair.
Well, it was like he was missing part of his head, and then he just had a fake scalp that was like held on by magnets.
Pretty much.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
It
Which
was wild.
I don't understand. It was kind of like something like, okay, so this guy, is this what causes this guy to be a murderer? He's just fucking messed up in the head, but like,
well,
He's missing a chunk of his brain that is like
Yeah.
you don't kill people brain.
well, in the
Yeah.
director's cut, supposedly, the dad has the same X-ray as him. Of
Oh,
that.
so it's actually his head.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't watch the director's cut. I just got spoiled on it.
Dude.
So
yeah,
I think there might be something there.
Dude, his sister,
Oh yeah.
that was depressing.
Yeah. That was depressing. I was not expecting that.
No,
either.
that caught
His
me off
sister.
guard. Yeah, so Byung-yu's sister was dead since they were kids.
Oh yeah, and he was imagining that she was a nun. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because she
Yeah,
hung
that was
herself.
fucked up.
That did catch me off guard. Like I was like, wait.
Yeah, I was not ready for that.
What is happening?
Yeah.
It's like they tried to mix in like the Sixth Sense into this.
I see dead people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. His memories were all mixed up, and then you've got the other guy who's also a killer.
Yeah.
Or maybe not, depending on which one you watch.
Might not
And
even be
so-
real.
Yeah.
No,
And
he
so
was real.
then you're like, what am I supposed to believe? And then it's like killer versus killer for like the mid part of the movie, and you're like, oh shit, who's gonna win? And then I
Mhm.
thought it was interesting that the old dude was like, physical strength is what's most important. So he starts training for that. And then he like
Yeah.
crushes apples, and he's like, I can crush an apple with my bare
Yeah.
hands. I was like, okay.
He was really into choking people out.
Yeah,
Yeah, so his fingers were super strong.
that is true.
I would have thought it would have been funny to just like buff up his fingers.
They were like,
Hilarious.
BB
You
fingers.
just see him doing like finger grip exercises and stuff.
He's like rock climbing just for fun. With one hand.
Yeah.
One hand,
He's just finger crawling. There we go.
finger. Yeah.
Like going up the rock wall with just his fingers.
Yep.
Yeah,
People can do it with their fingertips, and that's just wild to me.
that is
Yes,
crazy.
it is.
So I have a note, and I think this is the same note as you, Adam. So I don't think somebody had their phone in the movie. Do people in movies not believe in putting their phone on silent? As in, I think when it was like the daughter, the dad, and the
Oh.
other guy, like, doesn't her phone go off?
Yeah.
And it like
Yeah,
finds her
that's what it
location.
is.
So
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. Is like, why is your phone on loud?
And I think my note was just like a discussion topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like phone goes on silent when you enter the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Or mine is always on silent because I'm weird.
Yeah, I guess that
Yeah,
was
mine is,
more of
yeah.
what it was. Is like most people have their phone on silent these days. So the fact that you would have your phone on loud,
Not even vibrate.
is like,
Just-
wow, ballsy.
I know.
Waiting for somebody to call you, I guess.
Yeah, that's the only time it's ever on like loud or vibrate is if I'm expecting a call.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Otherwise, there's too many notifications, man.
Dude, boop, 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 and I don't need it. And my watch buzzes, and I'm like, I turn that shit off every day.
Yeah, my watch is never on
But
in
So there
terms
you
of
go.
yeah,
notifications.
yeah. So I was trying to figure out how old Byung Yu was when he had Yoon Hee, because she was about 25 in this movie, like the
That makes
character
sense.
was, but
Yeah.
he seems like he's like 60 or 70.
He does. He seems pretty old, right? But
Mhm.
I guess not.
Yeah, while it can be true, he doesn't have an age limit on when he can have a kid, so the wife could have just been younger.
He also doesn't. Do we actually? I don't think we actually get his age though, right? Is it just based
No.
on
I
the
don't think so.
actor and how he's older looking? Because I
I
was gonna
think
say
so.
like technically he lost his memory because of an accident, right? And
Which
so
Is wild.
he could be young, and it's just that they chose an older actor.
Byung Young could be young.
Could be.
Byung Soo could be young.
Mm-hmm. In theory, yeah.
I know. Sorry, I just like be young. Be young.
Yeah, I guess he could have been more of the boyfriend's age.
That'd be wild.
Which how old was he?
That wouldn't make sense though.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I don't know. He was like 30 something, right?
Yeah, he seems a
He looked
little bit
older.
older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely was older than her, but it was just I was like, I can't tell how old you are, because like On
Right.
definitely was like 40s, late 40s, early 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I will say that the boyfriend
Teju.
looked old when he was a cop, but then when they met him at the house, he looked
He did appear younger. Yeah.
because he had like
Yeah.
a hoodie on and all that. Speaking of, he's like really lanky. I just remember
Yeah.
when he was at the house, I was like, dang.
It was Slender Man.
Yeah,
all
kind
along.
of.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even look the same. It was funny. And I also had a question about how do keyboards work in other countries, because I think he was typing on an English keyboard, right? Didn't they?
I know that there's other keyboards per country,
Yeah.
but
But-
I don't know about South Korea specifically.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
I
know there's
wouldn't
like
know.
software that like rewrites it the way. Well, even just Word, if you like put it in Arabic, it rewrites it the other way. But like, how annoying would that be if you are a South Korean and you do most things in South Korean, and your keyboard has to be in English? That'd be annoying as fuck. I'm just saying.
I looked
that.
it
Oh
up.
yeah,
And their layout, it's just like maybe this is just like what ours would look like with South Korean lettering. But it looks like the layout's the same.
Just different
It
letters.
just has it has like our letters and then their letters on it at the same time.
so I know
So I
Mandarin.
don't
It's
know.
either Mandarin or
Oh,
Japanese
interesting.
that have 256 characters.
Yeah, so you can't fit that all on a keyboard.
Right.
Yeah, but it's got like multiple on some of these. And
So
then it
it's
says
like the-
black keys, consonants,
Yeah.
white keys, vowels, and
You got a lot of functions and
to do
alt
with-
buttons that you have to click.
You gotta have a lot of shortcuts to get this letter. That'd be so crazy. That'd be so crazy.
QWERTY.
yeah, I don't think any of these are actually super accurate to what they actually look like.
I just remember
Now, that
seeing
one looks like it.
his keyboard and it was all English, and I was like, that doesn't
Yeah.
seem right.
Yeah, that just seems weird.
So in other news, this movie is also an adapted screenplay off of a book,
Oh snap!
You're a book and
I gotta go read the
screen
book.
rapid
I knew
play.
What's the
Sam
book
was-
called?
Diary of a Murderer. Or
Pretty
Murder.
close.
Yeah, murderer. I like Memoir better.
I do too.
Memoir sounds better, yeah.
That alliteration ish kind of.
Memoir.
Memoir.
So at the end of it, it's open ended, like we were talking
The
about.
version, yeah. We
Yeah,
watched.
But in
the
the
original
director's
version.
cut, it's clearly him, but it also sounds like the whole movie's just pretty much different.
I think
Which is weird.
It's the same up until the very end. It flips the entire movie. Like it basically
Okay.
explains it all for you, and it hits you in the
Okay.
face with it.
instead
Yeah, because this
of-
one was like, is he seeing this guy? Is this guy even real? It's like, is he the guy? And then it's like, it leaves with him still looking for the guy. He's like, he's out there somewhere. I must find him and kill him.
Well,
Like,
And doesn't he like, so he's out in the snow, right? He's left, and doesn't he see him and you see his eye twitch? So it's like,
yeah, like
his-
in the very beginning.
yeah.
Yeah.
And his eye twitch is like, oh, he's not going to remember this. And so, like I felt like anytime I saw his eye twitch, I was like, okay, well, what's real now? You know what I mean? 'Cause,
Right.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
you
it's
never
kind of
know.
like your.
And so
Mhm.
for him to be like seeing Teju at the end of our version is like, what the fuck? I thought that dude was dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
Like,
kind of confused me a bit there.
yeah.
It lost me a little bit.
Yeah. Did you like that his face twitched? As like a viewer, did you find that helpful? Or
It
would you?
seemed like it was placed just for the fact that you're like, okay, he's kind of losing his memory here,
Yeah,
and
it made me
Mhm.
guess
and it
more.
made sense and it helped, I
Mhm.
think. But like, I don't know how realistic it is.
It almost looks like a stroke.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Well, I would say let's take that away if you're like, okay, there's no twitch. And like when he shows up at the house, right? He just walks in and then he just like stop remembering. And I guess you could do it without it, but
Mhm.
I do think it kind of helps the viewer be like, oh, okay, now he's not going to remember. I don't know. I feel like if we had the story, the version we saw, and there was no twitch, we'd be like, okay, what the heck is real and
I'd be
what isn't
extremely
real?
lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost helps a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, just before I forget, the reason why I wanted to do twist and shout was because this movie's full of twists.
Oh, ha. And there's some
Supposedly.
shouting, I'm sure.
There's shouting, but a lot of twists. A lot of
Gotta
twists. Gotta
keep
keep up.
Oh, gotta keep up. Gotta keep up.
We're all gonna just do it out of sync, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah. People have to listen to it 3 different times. It's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like this movie, there were a lot of twists for sure. And there were parts that I was like guessing on quite a bit. And I remember until I had watched the director's cut version, I was like, oh, I missed some stuff. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I really
Right.
missed stuff. I was hoping that you guys would help me out with that. Because you guys are kind of more trying to solve the film, whereas I'm just there to enjoy it. But I
This
don't
one's-
know.
I'm a little
Maybe there
ashamed I
weren't.
kind of failed on this one.
Yeah,
The-
maybe there weren't breadcrumbs then.
You know, I took it with pride that I didn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy movies that I can't figure out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do too. And I also like movies that I can then watch again to try to figure out. And so that's why I was like, oh, like maybe if I watched it again, I'd get the breadcrumbs. But maybe there were no breadcrumbs if you guys didn't find them. You're the chief breadcrumb finders.
Yes, we have monocles,
Indeed.
and we have pipes that we smoke from constantly.
Definitely.
Really cool plaid hats.
Theory crafting the entire time.
Yeah. All right, so there's the cast. Byung-soo was played by Sok Young-gu. He was in a movie called Peppermint Candy.
Nice.
It just sounds tasty.
Gross.
You don't like peppermint?
I do not like peppermint.
What?
What?
What do you... Hold on. What do you eat or drink around Christmas?
Coffee.
Yeah, coffee. That's a year-round thing.
Yeah, but like you don't do any Christmas
More hot
flavors?
chocolate than usual.
Not peppermint hot
uh,
chocolate?
Not peppermint
No,
coffee?
gross. Gross.
Not peppermint ice cream?
What the hell?
No, it's disgusting.
Not candy canes?
No, I don't like them anymore.
I'm so confused. Like, what if you think of Christmas and tasting? Do you just think of like hot chocolate?
He thinks of escargot.
He has fancy Christmas.
Oh
dinner.
yeah, fancy Christmas.
Yeah, kinda.
Escargot.
That's
or
more of New
hot
Year's Eve
No,
for
chocolate?
you,
no,
right?
like hot chocolate, like hot chocolate,
No,
but like
yeah.
dark hot chocolate.
Yeah, you guys
Okay.
have something crazy for New Year's Eve. Not escargot, but something stinky.
No, pickled pig's feet.
What?
Yeah. I
yeah,
don't. I
pickled
I
pig's
didn't eat
feet.
it.
Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. There's 2 more: sauerkraut and
Was it the little
what's the
fish?
damn fish.
Sardines? Anchovies?
No,
Is it the Swedish fish? Not the candy.
Pickled herring?
no, it's not. Yeah, it's pickled herring.
You have pickled herring. Wow.
You got some
Yeah,
Swedish folk
Yeah,
in your
on New
family?
Year's. It's health, wealth, and happiness is what it's called.
All right.
At least that's what it.
I
yeah,
ran
so
when they brought
every
those
year I
out.
had to eat it when I was a kid.
And I ran away.
Yes. I
I'm out.
still am not like a huge fan of it, but like I enjoy it more now.
Yeah, you should have had the pickled whatever in Amsterdam. It's not herring, it's something else.
It's like
It's that you talk
Yeah.
about that weird fish that
Yeah.
makes people throw up.
yeah, but it's
probably.
very similar to pickled herring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know that I would seek it out, but
Anyways, so Teju,
That is wild. Sorry
that
for
I
the
don't like
detour.
peppermint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
can't.
don't know. I'm not big on Christmas in general, but I think of like Krampus and dark hot chocolate
Nice.
and Belschnickel.
I don't know what
Uh,
Belschnickel is.
You know, Belschnickel.
Belschnickel is here. Um,
That didn't help.
I'm gonna just take that soundbite, Tim.
yeah, Belschnickel's. The best way to describe it is look it up and type in like YouTube, like the office Belschnickel.
Okay.
And you'll get it. That's like the best representation that I can tell you to look up, but it's a real thing.
All right. I believe you. But yeah, I was saying Taeju is played by Nam Gil Kim. He's in The Fiery Priest.
He's not in a Christmas movie.
He's not. I don't think Peppermint Candy is a Christmas movie.
I don't think so either.
But
It probably is.
Yoon Hee is played by Seo Hyun Kim. She's in Gangnam 1970. I wrote too tiny. And then An Byung Man is played by Dao So Oh, and he's an old boy.
That's the chief cop, right?
Yeah, he's a cheap cop. Cop, not cough. He's a cough.
He's a cop.
And then my last person I have, I only wrote her down because of what movie she was in. It is Jo Young Jo. Interesting. But she's played by Suk Jung, and she is Suk Jung Hwang. I missed out her part of her name, but she is in The Wailing,
Oh.
like the not girlfriend.
No, she was the classmate, the poetry classmate.
Yeah.
Who was she in The Wailing?
You guys will never have guessed it. She is in fact the chicken vendor.
Yeah, I would have never guessed it.
You remember how we were talking about last week's episode that people have weird ass names in the credits. Chicken vendor.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah,
Chicken vendor.
it all comes full circle.
Indeed. The director is Shin Young Won. He did The Battle Roar to Victory.
Nice.
This movie won 3 awards and was nominated for 1 other. There's no critic score for it on Rotten Tomatoes. That was interesting. But these other ones are pretty well-rounded in my opinion. 78% for the audience. IMDb with a 7.2 out of 10. And then Googly Ooglies with an 80%.
Nice.
Cool.
So, Tim, you picked it. You flipping it on?
I didn't dislike this film. I thought it was an interesting concept. I feel like it could have been done a little bit better, but I can't really pinpoint why. I think it's just maybe it's the combination of it's a thinking movie and it's in a different language, so it's making me like I have a little bit of a disconnect from it. I'm trying to make excuses as to why I couldn't completely understand the movie, but I think it was a good film and it's a flip on for me.
Nice.
I can't talk.
What?
I made like a weird noise. I tried to say nice and it just came out like, oh. But I would flip it on as well. I liked the like having to guess everything. I don't know. Maybe it would have made more sense if like I spoke Korean. I don't know. I heard the thing gets ruined if you know Norwegian.
Mm.
Like they tell you at the very beginning of the movie, the entire story in Norwegian. But since they don't dub it, they don't sub it, nobody notices.
Ah.
Interesting part about
I speak Norwegian and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me one word.
I learned from the Troll Hunter movie.
Oh,
It all
okay.
up.
He didn't say something in Norwegian.
I did.
Nonetheless, I would flip
Actually,
it on.
I do know a Norwegian word. Troll.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
It's
That's
not
Norwegian
hi.
word.
It's hi.
Hi,
They-
hi.
Yeah, hi. They say hi in
Hi.
Norway. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I did learn a little Norwegian when we went. It didn't really stick.
Yeah, I learned like bathroom and exit and stuff like that, just like I did in
Welcome
French.
and-
Yeah.
Like you could just kind of pick it up while you're there. You're like, oh, that's what that is, and then you
Yeah.
don't really remember it.
But this movie, it had me on my toes. I wasn't really sure what was happening. I liked that. I liked his shoes.
I don't
Those were
believe that
pretty
you
cool.
standing up during this.
What?
I don't believe that you were standing on your toes during this.
It kept me on my toes. I was on my toes. I was sitting on my feet.
Like Titanic, where she like goes up on her toes. That's what you were like.
I was like a ballet. I was like a ballet dancer,
Yeah, exactly.
just like
Yeah.
that. The
Fluttering
whole
around.
movie
Yeah.
for like 2.5
Yeah.
hours because of those ads.
That's what he does when he stresses out. He just becomes a ballerina.
No, I go behind the couch and I walk. I pace.
Yeah, you do actually
Yeah.
walk around.
I do walk around. I'm
That
one
would
of those
drive me
people.
nuts.
If somebody was walking around,
Like during a movie, maybe.
My mom runs around the house. She doesn't walk around. She runs around the house when she's stressed out.
and
Well, when
I get
yeah, like if I'm trying to like do something or if I'm on the phone, I pace a lot.
yeah.
I don't like sit down and talk on the phone. I like
Nobody
end up pacing,
does.
and people are like, "Why are you out of breath?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just walking around the house."
You took my breath away. Duh.
Yeah. Da-da-da.
No, for me, movies like shit. What's the bong movie?
Parasite?
Parasite.
Host. Oh.
Parasite.
Or that one.
Parasite gives me a lot of anxiety because I don't know movies that I can actually see myself like not myself happen, but like
Yeah.
it seems more
More realistic.
Yeah, I'm much more anxious. Awkward
Yeah.
scenes make me anxious. Like certain awkward humor throws me off. Like sometimes Michael Scott, I'm like, come on, man. But anyways, Sam, what would you do?
We're gonna lose all of our people that like The Office. The Venn
No,
diagram of
I
people that
like The
us
Office.
and people that like The Office. They're gonna be like, gotta flip it off because Adam doesn't like Michael Scott.
Oh, Michael Scott's
People
my
that like
favorite.
The Office understood my Bell Snickle reference.
I know that's what I was gonna say, but
I
then they
like The
dropped off
Office,
when they heard
but
Adam.
Yeah.
I don't watch
Adam
it a
wrote it.
lot.
How dare you?
For the
I'd watch
final,
it more if it was still on whatever.
It's on Peacock, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
Then
You gotta pay for it.
Yeah.
What's that bullshit? Oh man, I'm flipping it on.
what?
I was trying to think of what I would say that you guys didn't already say, but for me personally, I like a good like thriller mystery type thing, and I think this hits that right on the money. I remember when I first ended this film, I was like, okay, now I gotta watch it like 10 more times. It was like one of those movies where you're like, I gotta turn it back on. I gotta see all the things I missed.
see all the
Like,
stuff,
yeah. So now it's kind of like being farther removed from it. I'm like, oh man, I don't feel like I gave it as good of a review as I felt. And so I don't know. Part of me wants to watch the director's cut, but I kind of don't like that it's so cut and dry in that. But I
Yeah.
probably will seek it
Yeah.
out just to see the differences.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If you like thrillers or mysteries, I think this is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps you winding around.
Yes.
And also for you guys, since you said there's probably no movie called Peppermint Candy, there is, and it also looks like it's a South Korean film.
What do you mean?
And it's from 1999.
We said that that's the movie that Byung Yu was in,
No, I don't believe you.
and I said that there's probably no Christmas movie named Peppermint Candy.
Is it a Christmas
Oh,
movie?
I see. I must have missed that. No, it's about suicide.
Oh,
God damn.
Way to bring
Yeah.
us down.
No, that was just very harsh, but it's about suicide, but it's like the guy reliving his life.
Well, so
backwards.
depressing.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying.
I'm gonna move on to happier things. Next episode's our last episode
Of the season.
of the
How is that happier?
season.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was like, don't act like it's our last episode ever. Don't scare the
No,
five
no,
people who
no.
listen
I'm
to us.
sorry. Yeah. So it's our last episode of the season. We're gonna either get double digits or double digits. Let's spin it.
Wait, why do we have 2 on the board?
Sam, don't break the mold. I was lazy.
I'm confused.
It won't spin if it's only one.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. It
Okay.
can't spin if
It
it's
can't
just
spin if it's just one thing. Hey,
I
look, it's double
mean,
digits.
Couldn't you still just spin it? It just
No, it won't spin.
it physically won't.
It
Okay.
physically won't spin. But double digits next week.
Technically, it
Shocking.
digitally won't physically spin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
What Tim said.
which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're up next week with a double digits.
And there's not
Exciting.
2 episodes left of the season. Not 2 movies.
Yeah, just one movie left.
And then we'll do the season wrap. Stay tuned.